That's BOLD TV. Or you can catch me on the Tea Room on TikTok. That's THET Room. All right. Thank y'all for joining me today. So in the background, y'all hear Ladies in Full Effect. That's my music of the day, y'all. Y'all know I don't want no problems when it comes to these copyright infringements on YouTube, y'all. So I'm not doing it. But thank y'all for joining me, okay? Today, I wanted to bring to the light the topic of conversation, something that's really near and dear to me. All right. And that's the state of relationships today. Okay. Um, for those of y'all that know me, Toy with the T, y'all know I'm from Brooklyn, raised by my dad. So I have a really high regard on what I feel like a man is, right? Now, I didn't have the perfect dad. He was a regular dad. He was a real dad. And he had his flaws, right? But if I can't say nothing else about my dad, is that even in his weakest moments, what? Even in his weakest moments, um, even in his weakest moments, my dad was a real man. You understand what I'm saying? Like he handled his business, right? He didn't run from his responsibility. And I think that I just said to my nephew the other day, I said, nephew, I said the problem is until men take their rightful place, we're gonna continue to have this problem in our community. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest, okay? I'm as strong as they come when it comes to being a woman. I'm as independent as they come when it comes to being a woman. I know a lot of things that most men should know. I do a lot of things that most men do because, like I said, I was raised by a man. But one thing that I've understood, one thing that God has been teaching me is that I got a place. I got a place. And as a woman, I'm second in command. It doesn't matter what I can do. Even if I can beat a couple of them, I'm still not a man, right? And that's something that God is teaching me. So at the same time, I mean, I can't take this phone call right now. So at the same time, I'm learning, right, what God wants me to know and what kind of woman He wants me to be. And with me learning that, I have to accept the fact that I'm second in command. And there's a position in which a man holds. And when that man holds that position, then it's nothing that the woman can do but follow, right? And I know that even in some of the actions that I have made as a woman, a man with the stature of my father would not have it. I also know that I only do what the man allows me to get away with. The same way with the woman. We only do what the individual allows us to get away with. And we know that some men will let us get away with certain things. We know when some people will not allow us to get away with certain things. We know that there are some people that we won't try certain things with. And this is one of the main keys on what is the root to all relationships. First and foremost, we are out of order. We are out of order when it comes to relationships. And I'm going to be the first to admit that as a woman. And this is a very bitter pill for me to swallow. And it has been a very bitter pill for me to swallow because in the past, I have given advice from a woman's perspective to the men in my life, right? And have co-signed some of the negative activities to the men in my life because I was operating out of hurt and pain. And I gave them advice to keep them from operating out of hurt and pain and not out of it being the truth. With my water. There's a specific truth that I think we're not facing as a humanity. And I think that easy and simple truth is that man is the head of a relationship and the woman is second in that relationship, second in command, right? You got your captain, you got your general, your co-captain, your captain, and your co-captain. I mean, that's what it is. That's what we're meant to be. And I think oftentimes in relationships, due to that situation in the garden, uh, that trajectory on what happened in the garden, which I believe in, it changed the trajectory on the power that women have over men. But I think that with us knowing this story, with me knowing the power that I have over men, it is my responsibility not to use my powers for evil. And when I say use my powers for evil, I'm going to talk of when we look at a man and feel like we don't want them to be our husband, but we willing to have a kid from him and get child support. I'm not holding on punches, no punches on women. It's like I'm not holding no punches on men because I know that we have this certain kind of power, and the more promiscuous we dress and the more makeup we put on, and I can go and make him do this, and if I act a certain kind of way, I can do this, I can do that. If I'm not willing to marry him, but I'm willing to have kids and put him on child support, I'm just as trifling as the man that decided to lay down with her. And in relationships, we are out of order. We're out of order until the men get in order. And what I mean by until the men get in order, that means men have to come back and take their rightful place when it comes to relationships. We're out of order if I'm asking a man to marry me. You can't ask me to be more masculine and then think that I'm going to ask you to marry me. How does that go? How am I going to ask you to marry me? But you want me to be more masculine. That means this is out of order. We're out of order. We're not in order. We're not in order. If me as a woman, and I'm just simply explaining it from my point of view, why I'm no holds barred, independent, why you can't tell me nothing, why you can't do nothing with me, why I'm not going to forfeit my power over to someone who can't do what I do. It's because when we're constantly looking at men, right? We're constantly seeing our fathers, we're constantly seeing our brothers, right? We're constantly in a position, I don't know, there's something in us as a woman that we want to be able to achieve specific things. I mean, at least for me, right? Even if I had kids, I don't want to stay in a project, right? I always wanted nice houses, nice cars, nice things. I don't like to be told no, so I don't ask people for stuff because I know I don't like to be told no. If I do ask you for something, then I feel comfortable enough to ask you, and I get comfortable enough to get a yes. But I'm not going to ask people for things because I don't want to get told no. And because I don't want to get told no, I'm going to go out here and get me a job and get what I want. Because once I get me a job and I make my money, I don't have to worry about a no. I know I'm going to get what I'm asking for because I'm only asking myself. And for that reason alone is why I'm not in a relationship, because I feel like if why? If you can't help me achieve anything, the things that I want out of life, if you can't help me achieve the things that I want out of life, then I don't feel like it's worth me laying down with you. I don't feel like it's worth me spending my time with you. I don't feel like it's worth me spending my energy with you because of the simple fact that you can't help me get the things I want out of my life. And I think it's vice versa. There's this big thing going on right now to where we women want everything from a man. And I get it. I want everything from a man too. I get it. I want everything from a man too. I totally get it. I totally understand. I totally get it. I totally understand. Right? I want everything from a man too. And I also feel like I am willing to provide the same expectations, the same things that I want from that man. So if I want him to be handsome, I need to be cute. If I need him to be able to know how to dress, I need to be able to know how to dress. If I need him to be able to do this, I need to be able to do that. If I need him to make 100,000 a year, I need to be. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting blessed and getting a partner that just so happened to be a millionaire, getting blessed to be a partner, like, for instance, basketball players, people who went with a purpose in their life. They said, I was going to be a basketball player and did it. So now you're blessed enough to be able to eat off of their dreams and their ambitions. That don't mean you walk around and not do a damn thing. That don't mean you don't work on your dreams and ambitions because you counting on him or her. She's gonna be a star. He's gonna be a star, and then you just sit back and eat. That's not how we do. That shouldn't be the goal. If you're a man and you're dealing with a woman and she's gonna be a doctor, you put her through school, right? And so because you put her through school, now all of a sudden you feel like you sit back and you don't get to do anything no more. I don't think that's the case either, because you have your individual life that you need to be building. I got my individual life that I need to be building. And we need to be coming together, building our lives together. Not I want to be eating off of you and you want to be eating off of me. No, you my man. I want to help you. I want to help you. What are the things that you want out of life? And in a relationship, that's what it's supposed to be. What are the things that you want out of life? As a man, you should be bringing value. And I think this is the downfall. Men are the one who chooses the relationship. Y'all are the ones who's supposed to be choosing the woman, right? And if you choose a specific woman and you want a woman to look a specific way, I think you should be verbal about it. And if you're serious about dealing with this woman, then you're serious to the point to where you are going to be willing to do something about it. So even though we've strayed away from asking your father's hand in marriage, that is still the point and the purpose of getting married. You are now taking this young lady from a household, from a man who is taking care of her and not getting any sexual gratification from her at all whatsoever. He is taking care of her because that is her father. Just like when you have your daughter, you take care of your daughter. Well, a lot of people don't take care of their daughters properly, but I'm going to say it the way it's supposed to be said. You take care of your daughter because that's your daughter, not because you receive sexual gratification from her. Every other race commits to marriage other than ours. Every other race commits to marriage other than ours. And your reason for marrying them should not, the father is not allowing you to take your daughter, his daughter, because of sexual gratification. He wants to make sure that you take care of her. He can't even think about his daughter having sex with somebody. He needs to be secure that this man is going to take care of his daughter, sex or not. And the selfishness of men sometimes is unbelievable, because you'll go out there and you'll mistreat a woman, but when your mom or your sister gets mistreated, you want to fight. I don't understand that. So what men are doing is men are not choosing their wives. Men are not noticing their power. Men are allowing themselves to be taken advantage of, taken for granted. Because on the inside, there lies this weakness for women. Men are allowing themselves, I'm going to say it again. Men are allowing themselves to be taken advantage of, to be abused by women because they're not taking their rightful place as a man. You're not choosing your wives. You're going out here, you're sleeping with people, you're sowing your royal oats because that's what you thought you were supposed to do. That's toxic. That's toxic. We're sowing our royal oats, right? and we sowing our royal oats. And then when we sowing our oats, we're leaving seeds. We're not just sowing oats. We're sowing oats. We're leaving seeds, making babies. And now you have drama. Now I'm torn at this point, right? Because it's like, no sex before marriage, you can cancel it. But as a man, in order, and I don't know, maybe I know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I just feel like I gotta go here. As a man, if you're gonna take your rightful place, you cannot go out here being a player, having sex with multiple females, having relations with multiple females with no intent to make them your wife. You cannot do that. That's toxic. Women, you cannot go out here and have relations with men. With men that you're not going to be their husband. You can't. That doesn't work like that. We are going to continue to have issues in relationships if we don't abide by the rules. And the rules are built off of trust. And we are not being committed to each other when it comes to a relationship. Listen, when you date does not mean have relations physically with. That is not what dating should be about. Because if you have physical relationships with people, you're going to become attached to them in physical, spiritual ways because you're not supposed to be entertaining people. Dating means you're getting to know this person. You're talking, you're getting to know them, you're going to learn their quirks, you're going to learn their phases. And for me, I need to be able to tolerate you even if we're not physically having relations. I don't want you to get on my nerve, and the only time that we can get along is when we having physical relations. I don't want that. I don't want that no more. I am too old for that. I don't want that. I need to be able to deal with you outside the bedroom. I don't want you getting on my nerves. I don't want to be walking around talking about I can't stand you, and the only time we enjoy each other is in the bedroom. So no, dating, you're not getting none. Don't be giving up none if you're dating. You can't have none if you're dating. No. We are just dating. We don't pay no bills when we dating. Don't be looking for no rent paid because we just dating. Don't be looking for no car notes because we just dating. Don't be looking for no baby clothes. We just dating. Don't be looking for this electric bill. We just dating. Don't be looking for our cell phone bill. We is just dating. Need my nails did? No. We is just dating. Dating means that we can go out to the movies and be cool. That don't mean we can go out and then you get drifted off and attention on somebody else because you're not getting none. That means we're taking a conscious decision to get to know each other. And I want to get to know you. I want to get to know me. We want to go out. We want to vibe with each other. We want to see how each other move. If you really like each other, you can choose hands or choose to hold hands or not. And if you really like each other, if you want to pay a cell phone bill and get a nail did, go ahead. I'm not going to suggest it. But if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Because dating to me means that I can enjoy this time with you the same way I can enjoy it with a friend. And I'm just going to throw this example out. I'm a different friend than I am a girlfriend. So if I go out with you on a date, I don't have a problem paying. You're not my man. The expectation is not on me. But what I will say is if we're going out on a date and you call yourself courting me, You call yourself wanting to get with me. You call yourself wanting to holler at me. And I'm paying for a meal. I already know you're not the guy for me. Now, we could be friends, and you'll probably always be in a friend zone, but we can be friends. Because for me, when I like someone, I'm going to show them that I like them. So I'm going to show you that I like you and I appreciate you when you take me out first. And depending on the caliber of when you take me out first, on how that is going to determine how I come back. I'm not going to pay for the first date. I'm not going to do that. Probably not going to pay for the second date either. Maybe not even the third date. But the fourth date, I got you. And what I'm doing is I'm watching the caliber, and it's just me. I'm watching the kind of caliber that you are, the kind of caliber man that you say you are. You say you this kind of man? Okay, well, you're going to take me out at least 3 times, and I can't kiss no more. See, when I was young, I did that. Nope. I'm not just kissing anybody no more. Don't know what you got going on, right? At least 3 times you got to take me out. The 4th time, I'll pay. At any given time, you ask me to pay. Before that 4th time, I'm probably going to look at you sideways. I know you're not the guy for me. But I mean, I feel like taking your rightful place means understanding that when you select a wife, you're not selecting a wife because it's just somebody that you can have good in the bedroom relations with. You're selecting a wife because she is someone who can help you achieve what you want out of life. Do you even know what you want out of life? Most of us don't. That's why we're having bad relationships. Because if you the girl and you know you want to be a stripper, and you the guy and you know you want to be a doctor, and y'all come together and know what you want and tell each other this is what y'all want, y'all probably know y'all not gonna make it because the doctor probably don't want to date the stripper. And most of the time, I just feel like we don't really know what we want, and that's the first downfall to the relationship. We don't know what we want. But in order for this thing to get back on track, whether you know what you want or not, it's very vital that men take their rightful place, man. You have to take your rightful place. We're not doing that. Listen, I believe that when men acknowledge who they are and that they don't have to be weak for the woman, and I get it, honey, because I can't resist the fine thing either. What? Huh. What? But I'm learning to have more self-control because I don't want to keep. I'm real finicky. I'm real picky. I don't work half my life away focusing on my career. I don't work half my life away not thinking about getting married, not thinking about being serious, not thinking about none of that. So now that I'm back to reality, it's like now you older, right? Now you're dealing with people with baggage, right? But you're still dealing with a lot of the similar young people similarities. And at the end of the day, the only thing that I can say is that until a man takes his rightful place, it's nothing I can do. You can't be weak for me. You can't. You can't go above what God said because I said it. You can't be led astray by me. You got to be stronger than that. And part of me acknowledging your strength is acknowledging how much you love you. You can't love me more than you love you. The examples in which I put forth in loving me right now consist of making sure that I'm educated. Making sure I'm educated. Loving me means making sure I got everything that I need to be able to maneuver in this life by myself without a man. If I had a husband, right? And I'm just thinking about like back in the old days when they said that your husband was the one who took care of everything, right? And then you don't have to do anything, or you weren't able to work or anything because they weren't hiring ladies. And so here it is, two of y'all operating off of one income, which is ridiculous to me. That's simple mathematics. Two people, one income. But neither here nor there, the woman couldn't work. And now here I'm sitting up here taking care of the kids, not getting educated, not learning the skill, not learning the trade. And I'm only doing what the men said I was only good for, having babies and cooking and cleaning the house. And now here this husband died. And we've evolved. Life has evolved. So now you want to stay stuck, a woman. Oh, I ain't had nothing to do with the women's movement, but you want to stay stuck here. Your husband dies, and now here you go, no way to provide for yourself because you have no skill, you have no education, you cannot fend for yourself. Now, even though you want to stay stuck in this mode of, well, I'm a woman and I'm supposed to get taken care of. Well, the fact of the matter is that the world is changing, honey, and it's 2 for 1. 2 y'all on one income ain't gonna work. So a part of loving me is getting educated. So my mentality on what is acceptable for love is, if you love yourself, you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to do the best. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect, but you're going to do the best that you can to take care of yourself. You're going to, do your exercise. You're going to make sure you eat, make sure you clean, make sure you wash. You're going to strive for things. You should strive for things in life. You should strive to want to have your own place and not only stay with your mother. You should strive to want to have a car and not always only want to stay on the bus. You should strive to want to have more. Right? And if you're striving to want to have more and the other person that you're with doesn't want to strive, or they don't strive to have more, that's a connection that's not going to work. That connection is not going to work because it's only one person that really wants something out of that connection, and that's not it. You know what I'm saying? So until you get with an individual that is on that level, you're finna have an issue. But that still requires man taking his rightful place. Men have to take their rightful place. When they take their rightful place, we will follow. I know I will. I know I will follow. I feel like this. When you know what it means to be a responsible adult, even if you have kids early, you should always strive to have that goal to be a responsible adult. And if nothing else, a responsible adult consists of this: having your own place. Even if you got to have a roommate, you're not with your parent. Even if you got a roommate, you're not with your parents. You got your own place. You have a job because you have to take care of yourself. If you don't have a job, then that means you got your own business. And that business is bringing money in because you have to take care of yourself. Being a responsible adult means that you're paying your way. You're not allowing someone else to pay your debts. You're paying your way if you're a responsible adult. So you have a job. You have a place to stay, whether you got to get a hotel room, whether you got to rent a room or whatever. You have a place to stay. You take care of your own behind. That's what is being a responsible adult. You take care of your own behind. You pay your own rent. You get up. You go back and forth to work every day, rain, sleet, hail, or snow. You go back and forth to work every day and you get them little crumbs. If you got to get 2 jobs to make all the crumbs meet, that's what you got to do. If you have a significant other, then that can be worked out. So I'm not going to sit home and I see my boyfriend. Well, I'm not going to do no boyfriend thing, but I can't sit home and see that my husband, because we shouldn't even be operating out of boyfriend, girlfriend energy. I'm not going to sit at home all day with no kids doing nothing. Sitting on the couch, watch TV all day, doing nothing, knowing that my boyfriend is out, my husband is out working 2 jobs, paying for everything. I can't, no, that's not love. That's not love. Nope. Love is My baby loved me so much. He working 2 jobs trying to get me what I need. You know what? I'm gonna go get me a part-time job, Mike. I'm gonna get me a part-time job at night so we can come home and we can get off at the same time. And I love him so much. I'm probably gonna get me a part-time job where he working at so I can see him all the time. And then we can get off and come home together. And then now we got 3 streams of revenue instead of 2. Because if this is just me in my right mind. If you are sitting home all day because your person can't afford, or for 1 job, 2 job, whatever, to take care of you, and you sitting home not doing anything, you're a user. You're a user. You're a user. Are you at home doing something, especially if you don't have no kids? And if you do have kids, then you still should be doing something. I can see the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years till the kids start getting big. But once some kids get in school, honey, you should be ready to go to school. You should be ready to start your business. You should be ready to help your man start their business. I mean, where's the unity? It seems like we've forgotten that we are on the same team. But the reason why we can't remember that we're on the same team is because we're breaking trust from out the gate. We breaking trust from out the gate when you're deciding not to marry that female, but you'll sleep with her first. You're breaking trust out the gate when you decide to allow that man and all of what he said. I'm guilty of this too. Everything he said, he ain't did nothing. To have you in the bedroom, he ain't did nothing. He just said stuff. To have you in the bedroom and you don't have his last name, that's not love. Matter of fact, that's going to be a strike against you. You're going to feel some kind of way about that because when things don't work out, because you haven't built the trust, you've broken the trust. You've shown him you can't be trusted because you didn't hold it down until you got married. And you showed her that you're not fit to be a leader. You know why? Because you didn't make sure that you wifed me before you married me. So I know you're capable of sleeping with anybody else. I know you're capable of doing the wrong thing. You know how I know that you're capable of doing the wrong thing? Because you did the wrong thing with me. And even if I come along and I tempted you to do the wrong thing, even if I came along and pulled out all the stops and I pulled out all the butter and I did all this except for give you my last name to make sure that when I die, you're taken care of for the rest of your life. I came and pulled out all the stops, but I know that I didn't do it right. So I'm untrustworthy, and we're always going to have trust issues because both of us have entertained the idea of getting involved with people without doing it the proper way. So as soon as you sleep with that guy, he's going to think, oh, she's going to do that with everybody else. As soon as you cheat, you're going to think that other person's cheating. As soon as you sleep with that person, you're going to build an automatic attachment to be able to feel what is going on with them. And regardless of what you sleeping with them physically, you're going to find out that they like the hot and you like the cold. They like the lie and you like the cheat. You like to steal and you like to eat pillow cushion. And because you didn't take the time to get to know anyone, now she's going to have a baby. And now y'all got little pillow cushion eating babies because you picked a baby mother that eats pillow cushion. Do you know why? Because yet again, I'm going to say this yet again. Men will not take their rightful place. Now, I'm not going to stay on here long. Thank y'all for following me. Toy with the T. I'm probably going to wrap this up at 12:30 because that was officially be an hour. But when it comes to relationships, the reason why we're in the situation that we're in is because men need to take their rightful place in our communities. You can't lead a household. You're sure not going to be able to lead a nation. Excuse me. We're going to have to figure out if we're dealing with kings or we're dealing with court jesters. Because at the end of the day, the only way that you're going to be capable of leading anything is making sure that you know how to lead yourself first. Did you lead yourself through an education? to make sure that you know how to read and write properly, to be able to take care of this wife and children. But you're not busy thinking about making this your wife, but you're trying to have children all over 34. You think that's supposed to make sense to me? That's supposed to really make sense that she's supposed to have 34, 37, 38, 42, 17,000 kids just all over the place. Really? Really? That makes sense to you? Okay. Have you been able to lead yourself and have your own? I mean, because even in other countries where they're like, yeah, you can have a bunch of kids, the requirement is for that man to be able to take care of those kids. And if you're, even if you're making $200,000 a year, the $200,000 a year guy is not the guy that got the 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 kids. The 200,000 guy had enough sense to say, hey, it's more of them than it is in me. 1 or 2 would do. So when it comes to asking for this leadership, first of all, I don't ask for leadership role. We take it. That's first and foremost. But when it comes to being in this leadership role for the gentleman, you need to maintain self-control. Y'all need to maintain self-control. You need to choose a woman that you're going to want to be with, that you're willing to get to know without having relations with, that you can get caught up on. But you need to first lead yourself. Lead yourself to what? My thing is this. If you don't have a place to stay, if you don't have a way back and forth to work, I mean, like, it's a catch-22 to where if you are in a place where you can financially take care of yourself, like, if you can't financially take care of yourself, I feel like you don't need a girlfriend. Now, I said this to my homeboy one time, and he was like, oh, so what you saying? A broke ninja don't deserve a relationship? And I'm like, I'm not saying that a broke ninja don't deserve a relationship. But what I am saying is that the broke ninja needs to spend the time that they would spend with the relationship on themselves to stop being a broke ninja. And then when you're not a broke ninja, you're able to add a +1 to the equation, because if you're a broke ninja with just 1, you're going to be a broke ninja +1, right? So I just believe, like, you shouldn't try to be in a relationship until you are stable. Like, until you can help a person achieve what they want out of life. But your first point of contact should be making sure that you can achieve what you want out of your life first. And when you see that you're applying the steps to get what you want out of your life, then you add one more equation. I'm just saying. Because at the end of the day, our relationships are broken down because we have a lack of trust and we have a lack of stability. And if you're supposed to be, you're created to be the man to lead me. And I see that you're weaker than me. I'm just being real. When I say weaker than me, you're not going to work. You're playing around. You're letting your habits outdo you. You're running around cheating. Those are things that we don't want our kids to do. So if you're looking at the other person, that's drama. That's issues. So if that's what you're doing, that's not positive. Those are toxic traits. So we're not building trust in each other, sleeping with each other early, then saying, oh, well, I don't like this person, then we're going to go sleep with somebody else. We're not building positive, trustworthy relationships if we know that we're dealing with a person and we've told them all of these things about how you're just be honest with me. Tell me that you're dealing with somebody else so I cannot deal with you. Because if I'm dealing with somebody else, I'm going to tell you I'm dealing with somebody else. And I expect you to tell me that you're dealing with somebody else and give me the option. But instead of you acting like you're not dealing with nobody, then you want to go tell a person, and this is the key word, ladies, they want to tell you everything that you want to hear to get you in the bed. That's a red flag to them that, oh, that's all it takes is words. No, ninja, you got to work. And if you don't want to work, I get it. I understand. I understand. You can call me ugly. You can call me stank booty. You can call me old. You can call me ran through. You call me what you want to. I'm not going to lower them standards. I know more. I done lowered them standards. I don't know how many times before and they ain't get nowhere. Ain't going to lower them no more. I don't care what you say. No. Because you talk, I give, and then here you go running off because your true intention is that you want to have 34 babies and you don't want to be with one woman. You want to go spread your little seed around all over because you're listening to somebody. Now, that's one thing I don't agree with on Dr. Umar talking about, oh, you have multiple women, that's why you're so miserable. No, you need to have self-control. You don't have to be miserable just because you're dealing with one person. You can be very happy dealing with one person if you know that you can be happy dealing with one person. But because you're brought up to be toxic, because you're brought up to be sowing royal oats, because you have these toxic masculine traits, now all of a sudden in your mind you feel like you need more than one woman to keep you satisfied, when the problem is you're not satisfied with yourself. Because if you were secure with yourself, you will understand the importance of why you're just with one individual. You will understand the commitment on why you're just with one individual. You will understand the fact that the individual that you chose is the individual for you. And when you got into the presence of them, y'all fit like lock and key. Like you would say one thing and the person is saying the same thing at the same time and they're finishing your sentences. You will get that true love connection that you really wanted, that you really knew was there, but you couldn't see it because you running around with in your mind sowing seeds instead of looking for your wife who could be the person that complete you. And she's going to be the one to take all those seeds. And your wife being second in command is supposed to say, hold up, we on seed number 2. I'm going to have to swallow them other seeds because we're not going to have no 34 and no 46 and no 47 kids. I mean, I'm just saying. Times have changed now. We've grown more humane. And in becoming more humane, we're learning that it's savage for men to be attracted to 12-year-old children. We don't do that anymore. We don't auction off our young children to be with older people. Talking about it was tradition. We're learning that that's inhumane. We need to kind of be closer in age, right? Like we don't want people to get married anymore because they're forced or because it was a deal from their lineage, but we have freedom of choice. And that means I get to go out here and I get to explore people, and it does not have to have anything with a physical touch, right? If I can love you without touching you, that means when we start touching each other, it's going to be fireworks, right? But okay, let's say that we skip it. We see the fireworks. Now you're going to be bogged down with so much doubt because you did not do it the right way. Even if this person shows you a weakness, they show you that they were weak for you. And even if it's just you, you're not going to process it as it's just you because you can only go off of the experience that you have with them. So you can't say if they would be that easy with someone else too, because if they did it with you, they do it with anybody else. So that's why we got to put up a fight. That's why we got to make sure we get what we want from Jump Street. All this walking around loose and just having people say something and just have people do something. And this goes for men too. This is not just for women. Men need to know their role. Women need to know their role. Once you know what your role is, all that looseness and just having relations with people and you're not married, that need to stop. Once we pull that in as a race, you'll see how far we'll grow. You'll see how much God can bless us because of the simple fact that we are honoring each other. Honoring each other has nothing to do with physical touch. Honoring each other mean even despite if we don't have relations, I love you enough to make sure you're fed. I love you enough to make sure that you're housed. And I love you enough to make sure you're fed and clothed and housed and healthy and trying to achieve these things out of life that you may want. And it's not because I'm trying to seduce you. It's not because I want something secretly from you. And the most sacred thing you can give a person is your body. Your body. The most sacred thing you can give anybody is your body. You can never, time and your juices, you can never get that back from anyone. And if you entertain that, that is a spiritual connection. You and them. And it's like you and invisible strings just all over the place because y'all have intertwined your spirits, your souls to an extent to where you can make another baby. That is spirit. Not only is the spirit, that's a spirit that is blowed on by the breath of God. I'm just saying. And we went around here wondering why relationships don't work. That's why. Relationships in our community will not work until the man reels his back in, man. Until the men take their rightful place. Until the men take ownership on who they are and what their responsibilities are and stand 10 toes down on them regardless of what. And when I tell you stand 10 toes down, you're going to have to outwork the women. You're going to have to outdo the women. I mean, this ain't no competition. But you can only get someone to follow you if they want to be led by you. And if you are the man and you doing worse than me, how can I allow you to lead me? You ain't even doing what I'm doing. How can I allow you to lead me? How? Simply because you're a man? No. We see these things. We're constantly watching. We watch how you move. We watch how you act. We watch how you shake. We watch how you do things. Like, come on with the jokes. All you gotta do is all I gotta do is watch how you treat your parent. How you treat your parent is gonna be how you treat me. If I like the way you treat your parent, then I'm gonna be cool with it. If I don't like the way you treat your parent, it's probably because it's toxic. When it comes to being a man, you can't be a mama's boy and then think that a woman is one of. I mean, I just can't see wanting a mama's boy as a husband. I mean, maybe you want a daddy's girl as a wife, but at the same time, that still means that she's probably going to give more precedent to daddy than husband. And I don't agree with that either. Even the Bible says once you go off and you get your own family, you go away and get your own family. You ain't got nothing going on with your mama and your daddy and them no more. You can talk to them for advice, but y'all got your own thing over here. What you heard about? But the first breakdown is that men are not taking a rightful place. Not if a woman has to propose. Not if a woman has to be the one to reel the structure in. Not if the woman is the one having to carry the household and be the provider. That's backwards. Why? It doesn't, the math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing. If you're going to assume the position of a leader, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have something more for the followers, even if it's nothing but knowledge. Y'all can all be coming from the same place and got the same amount. But even if you don't have knowledge or something to trigger them into doing better or wanting better or excelling better, how are they going to lead you? And for what reason? And I'm taking this advice for myself too. If you don't have something that is on the same plateau that these people want, what would make them follow you? And I'm just using this from a relationship perspective. As a man, I just need to know the question to this. I just want to know. As a man, you haven't finished school, you haven't furthered your education, you haven't achieved getting your own place, you haven't achieved getting a car. And then you deal with a woman who's been through the same, been on a bus and train, kept consistent employment, had a job, got their own place, got a car, and when you guys meet, she has all of this, you have nothing, y'all the same age. How can you lead her? And where are you going to lead her to? And if this female happens to have a really good job, and I'm going to use this for example, let's say she's getting six figures, $600,000 a year, and here she has maintained all of this, and here you have achieved none of that. And then at the end of the day, she is willing to allow you to lead her. What do you think the outcome is going to be of that when you take over the household off the work that she's doing? I mean, I can't even speak the imbalance. Now, I'm not saying that you got to run out and go do what she do. Well, yeah, I am saying that. I mean, I would. But I'm not saying you got to run out and do what she do to make a $500,000 job. But what I am saying is that you should at least, go invest something in yourself to where you can at least hang. Because if you don't find a spark of ambition in you to want to try to hang, the jealousy of what that female has is only going to allow you to go and manipulate her money. Then you're going to get comfortable and start using people and doing all kind of foolery because you really operating out of insecurity because you know that you ain't sugar honey iced tea. So now there's a secret competition or secret hate for the woman because she got 500,000 and you ain't invest nothing in yourself. And trust me, she got 500,000. She's constantly investing in herself. You're gonna want to distract her because that's what kids do. When kids see somebody doing something focused over here, they want to. Don't your kids do that? They want to come and distract you because you're a child. And you don't even acknowledge the fact that you're a child simply because you didn't make sure you were educated. You didn't make sure you did the best for yourself. You didn't make sure you had your own place to stay or able to provide for your own place to stay. And you don't have any wheels. So everything that woman do is going to be intimidating to you because as a man and as a leader, you know that she should not be ahead of you. And you walking around looking like Alice in Wonderland, like you're on Alice in Wonderland, lost because you don't know your role as a man. Tighten up, bruh. But in the meantime, between time, thank y'all for joining me, y'all. Troy with the T here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. Y'all go ahead and follow me on all social media. Make sure y'all go ahead and hop on my TikTok. Like I said, I got 2 places for you to go. I got Bold TV, that's BOLD TV on TikTok. But then I also have the Tea Room on TikTok as well. That's THET Room. All right, you guys, check me out on either one of those. I love you guys bunches. I want you guys to have a good day. Make sure y'all check me out next time. And again, I'm just working on being consistent on doing the social media thing. So far, the results, they are not bad. They're not where I want them to be, but I'm going to get there. So make sure y'all join me. Follow me on YouTube at Toy with the T, y'all. TOYAWITDATEA. One more time, that's TOYAWITDATEA on YouTube and all social media. If you're gonna follow me on TikTok, you can reach me at the T Room. That's THET Room. Or on Bold TV. That's BOLD TV on TikTok, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Make sure y'all drop your comments below. If you go ahead and go on my YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for me. And make sure y'all stay tuned because I'm going to have more content, videos, and other things coming so I can get the social media thing going, okay? Thank y'all so much for watching me. Toya with the T in the building. I love you guys bunches. Have a good day. Bye.